Hello everyone, in today's video we will cover how to play with isolated pawn. Isolated pawn is a pawn that has no pawn on neighboring files, so he can be protected. It's usually a weakness, because obviously he cannot be protected by other pawns, but it can be also a lethal weapon if you know what to play, how to play, what plans to choose, and how to progress with it. So today I chose a nice game between Spassky and Antonomov from 1949, and the game was going with d4, d5, c4, d capture c4, knight f3, knight f6, e3, e6, bishop capture on c4, c5, white castling, a6, preparing b5, and also preparing b7 square for his bishop. White can easily prevent move b5 with a4, which seems to be logical, but on the other hand is weakening b4 square then, which can be important in fight against isolated pawn on d4, so it can be attacked from a3. So Spassky decided not to play a4 and move queen e2. Black played b5, bishop b3, and black played knight c6, knight c3, and now cd4. He could play also bishop e7 with the idea castle as soon as possible, but then white could capture on c5, and after bishop c5 he has two moves with bishop, so he's a little slower in development. And it seems like here white is getting pawn on d4 as knight d4, knight d4, e d4, queen d4. It's getting clear pawn, but here is a little trick with rook d1. So pawn is in the pin, and black played bishop b7. Maybe better was to play bishop b7 and castling quickly, which he could solve some problems he will have later in the game. So white captured on d4 with his pawn, and now we have isolated pawn on d4. White was not afraid to capture with pawn. He could capture also with knight, but he was not afraid to capture with pawn, as he wants to play with isolated pawn. And now he's threatening d5, which in those positions is basic plan to break through with d5. King is still in center, which is causing little problems here, and question is how to play now this position for black. Correct move here would be knight to e5 with idea to attack bishop on b3, where white had to move to c2, but instead knight to e5, black decided to place his knight on b4. He wants to fight for d5 square and block pawn on d4. If he could manage to place his knight on d5, it would be great for him, but his king is still in the center, and white can think about taking advantage of that. And it's Now is coming surprising and unexpected breakthrough, which I was talking about it earlier, and it's move d5. It's a fantastic move, as the d5 square is controlled by black pieces 5 times, with the knight, with the bishop, f6 knight, e6 pawn, and queen on d8. e6 pawn is in pin, so he can capture on d5. So black captured d5 with his knight from b4. And now is coming very important move, which was the idea of move d5, and it's move bishop to g5. We can see that e file, d file is under control. It's a pin with his bishop from g5, and thanks to those pins, square d5 is now controlled only 2 times, with his bishop on b7 and queen on d8. So black played here in this position logical move bishop to e7. It's eliminating pin on knight on f6 and want to castle. So now Spassky took this knight on f6. He must take this pawn as now black must capture on f6 with his g pawn, as when he captures with the bishop, now he's losing material on d5 thanks to this pin on e file. So he got to take it with the g pawn, gf6. Now knight d5 coming, bishop d5, bishop capture on d5, he capture on d5, and now we are in position where black is a pawn up, but it's isolated pawn on d5. Now it's isolated pawn for black, which is very weak, so it can be object of attack. Now Spassky improved position of his knight, and he played knight d4. Knight on d4 is placed great. He's threatening to jump to f5. He's threatening forks on c6. We have a strong pin here on e file, as black king is still in center. It's very dangerous. He needs badly to move from this pin, but he can castle as the fork on c6 is coming. So the only logical move here was king f8, and he moved king to f8. And now Spassky jumped to f5, knight f5. With idea queen h5, queen h6, and queen g7 mate. It's not easy to find moves for black, and Antonomov moved protecting this h5 square, so he moved with his pawn to h5, preventing queen infiltration. And now in this position the final hit is coming, so you can stop the video and try to find this correct move. And congratulations to those who found it, and yes, it's rook captures on d5, black capture on d5, queen capture on e7, king g8, and queen capture on f6, threatening checkmate on g7, and also fork e7. So when he plays rook h7, knight e7 is coming, and black just resigned in this position. So it was beautiful example how a little inaccuracy in fight against isolated pawn can cause huge troubles, and suddenly isolated pawn is not a weakness but monster when you start moving forward. In this game we could see one of the plans in play with isolated pawn and its breakthrough on d5, open the position and attack with active pieces. Like this video, so please subscribe and like, and I'll see you in the next episode. Thank you, bye now.